Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for How to Get Away with the Murder, Season 5, Episode 2. Whose blood is that? And so the episode continues off where we're at. It looks like Oliver and Connor's wedding. And surprisingly, it looks like it's in the church. Remember, Connor said that they weren't going to have it in the church. We see Annalise slapping Frank. We see Bonnie holding, uh, you know, holding Laurel's son. And now we go back to when Laurel moved out, and now it's Bonnie and Frank who are just there. Because remember, they were living in Bonnie's house. I think that's something that a lot of people forgot. So now Bonnie is essentially saying, look, you need to go and get yourself a life. You need to go and get yourself a life and stop just focusing on Laurel. While we see Annalise, she finally has a home of her own, and it looks big. The ceilings are high, the walls are light, there's a lot of lights coming into the place, and she has expensive furniture, and I'm just so happy for her. Laurel, so we see what's left of the Keaton Five. They're all living together, and Laurel is trying to feed her son. It looks like they have Oliver as the temporary babysitter, but we know that's not going to last for too long because he can barely feed the child. Asher's still there trying to figure out what his place is because he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a job. So they're all getting ready in the morning. I'm just so happy that Annalise finally has something of her own again. Nate is talking to his new girlfriend, and she goes and gives him more information regarding the DNA sequence that she went and searched. She said the location was weird, and the location actually traces back to DC. So now he goes to DC, and it's the place for where the the lost and missing kid. It's like saying the same thing. The missing kids agency. Now, we're trying to figure out what is really going on with Gabriel. Who is Gabriel? Who sent Gabriel here? It doesn't make sense. Frank is still playing basketball with him, but this time he did because Frank wants to clone Gabriel's phone, but Gabriel has a flip phone. So Frank was trying to go and use his technology to clone a regular phone. But I said that connection looks like it's for an iPhone. What if Gabriel had an Android? Anyway, it doesn't work, so now he has to go to plan B. Annalise shows up. She's even wearing lighter colors because it's a good day. Her students go rush to their seats. I loved it. And her boss is there. Her boss is there because remember, technically he's financing this. So he wants to see what he's paying for. And they have a new case. This new case is this. She's essentially a gay immigrant, and she's a gay, I guess technically Middle Eastern, I'm sorry if I got that part wrong, immigrant who was accused of killing her wife. And they have to go and essentially prove that her public defender didn't do his job in prepping her. And so she tells Annalise her story, and while that's going on, Annalise has to see who has what it takes to go and lead this case. So she picks on, but she asks Laurel, she asks Connor, she asks a bunch of them, and they're all slowly, one by one, striking out. She even asked Gabriel, and I said, I do not like this, because now Gabriel's wearing a suit and all of this. I'm thinking, and his hairstyle slightly changed. I'm thinking, so they're really trying to replace Wes, huh? I'm over it. This is a temporary. This is not permanent. This is a temporary. I don't care what anyone says. But Michaela stands up, even though Annalise did not want to pick Michaela because she does not like Michaela for good reason. But Michaela she's the smartest. Unfortunately, that's just the reality. She's built for this. Michaela puts it out there that, hey, did anyone think that maybe her public defender just didn't prep her correctly, didn't make sure that, not on purpose, but didn't do his job in making sure that she had all the information she needed to make a sound decision? And so then, at least it's like, that's the obvious answer. So Michaela, come on. So now Michaela's spearheading it. She's talking to the woman saying, well, I just want to make sure, did he say this or did he say this? And did he do this or did he do that? And someone's answering accordingly, and Michaela feels really good about it. But once they're done, Annalise has to go and get Michaela together, because Michaela doesn't realize that she's thinking, look, you said this is my case. I'm going to work this the way how I'm going to work this. We're going to win. That's all that matters. Annalise said, no, you keep spearheading, you keep bulldozing over things. This woman is a gay immigrant. If we get this wrong, she has to go back to a country where she'll be persecuted, where she will either be beaten or sexually assaulted or both, you have no idea, or killed because of who she is and who she loves. So no, this is not just some case for her. This is some case for you. I said, that's right, Annalise. Tell her. Nate goes to, again, the organization for exploited and missing children, and he's trying to go and get this information on Gabriel. But the problem is, they said they need a DA's signature. Not anyone can just go and get information. I said, well, I'm glad that at least there's some type of check and balance. Frank shows up to Oliver's place, and he wants Oliver to show him how to clone the phone. A flip phone. Oliver said he can't do that. I was like, what, you can't help me? He's like, no, it's not that. It's a flip phone. They were designed not to be cloned. You hear me? That's something you use when you don't want to be found out. So now the question begs, who is Gabriel again? Who is he really? Why is he here? Who is he after? Who is he hiding from? We have no idea. Now, Michaela is trying to act all big and bad. She's trying to go and have someone sit in the chair and essentially, I guess, be fresh meat. And the woman who was there earlier in the class answering questions was like, Michaela, I'm not going to go and risk, my year's tuition on you and your ego. That's what's not going to happen. Gabriel goes up there and it's like, you know what? I'll do it because I understand that this isn't for money. Mind you, they're doing this in Kaplan and Gold office. But she was just saying how I'm not doing this for money. This is a real person's life on the line. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he sounds like Wes. This is getting on my nerves. While that happens, here comes Tegan. So Tegan, she walks in. I said, Tegan. Now, because Tegan is just, that's just it. And not that as in, she is a person, but when someone just always looks good and you're just like, I'm glad you're around. I'm glad you're around because, yeah. So anyway, she gets pissed because first she sees Michaela. Michaela's like, hi Tegan, hi Miss Paige. Tegan paid her dust. And especially when she saw Laurel. Like, what the fuck is she doing here? So now, Tegan goes and talks to Annalise. Said, why is Miss Castile here? Why is she here? And Laurel comes in right after saying, oh, Tegan, I just wanted to go and properly thank you. You're not supposed to have communication with each other. No one needs to know that she was the snitch. So Tegan said, here's how this works. Don't ever talk to me because I did what I needed to do and I'm not about to have my life ruined because of you. Scoochie. The petty part of me giggled. The petty part of me giggled. Now, Laurel was trying to get babysitting, in that company. And Annalise said, you are a mother. You are smart. You are empowered. Don't just go and ask around. You need to go and figure this out for yourself. But Annalise, she felt a little guilty saying that. But anyway, Bonnie and Miller, they're having a quick conversation. He's trying to ask her out. And she's like, look, we can't be seen together. You're running for DA. Here comes Asher trying to go and petition for a job. Miller pays him dust initially, and Bonnie kicks him out. I said, oh, Lord. Because So that was the first time, the first of many. Now we have the public defender who was originally on that case, and Michaela is going and asking him questions, She's grilling him, and Elise is backing her up. And they're essentially trying to establish the case that there is no possible way that he could have properly informed her on all of her rights, even though he had 8 other cases that day. Now, but one woman was straight. One woman was actually married. And now it's this whole thing of, why didn't you tell us that you were married before to a man? Why would... And she just had to, just put it out there that, hey, it's not what you think. Yes, originally, when I married the woman, it wasn't because we were just in love. There were ulterior motives. But throughout the relationship, we developed a real strong, solid relationship. And now we're here. And now I love her. And there is nothing that no one could tell me that's different from that. Lord Jesus. I hate when I have camera issues. Anyway. So now, Michaela's pissed because Annalise is telling the class that she needs to go and rethink the strategy. She can't use Michaela's strategy anymore. She's essentially using Connor's strategy. And now they're bickering in front of the class. And now Gabriel is going and asking, wait a minute, who's Bonnie? Because Michaela said, I'm not Bonnie. You're not going to cut me off. You're not going to do this and that. I'm not going to be disrespected. Hold on, Annalise. I said, Michaela, I don't know who you think you are, but think again. I'm going to say this one more time. I don't know who you think you are, but think again. Because you're doing a little bit too much. Annalise, the second time, had to say, this is my case. I'm the one who decides who stays, who goes. I'm the one running this ship. I am the Alpha and the Omega. And that's a lesson for all of you. You better back down, little girl. Because Michaela always does too much. Always does too much. And now Annalise brought in Oliver to be the technical support because now they're going to have to do some snooping. Frank is babysitting baby Christopher. Because remember, originally it's supposed to be Oliver. And Frank was also doing that because he had to devise a plan. He goes and does the age-old trick of being a male who's taking care of a child. It's like, oh, I need help. And of course the woman goes to quickly help him. And he was saying how, that kid isn't mine, but, I just love him so much. And it's my ex's. And she falls for hook, line, and sinker. Now Bonnie is falling for Miller, making out with him in the office. Annalise tells her new boss, hey, everything's going well. He said, oh, everything's going well? Really? Really? And he wants full transparency going forward. And I said, that's fair enough. He's paying a lot, so I guess we can do that. Laurel goes and meets up with Frank because Laurel, she wants a baby. Now, the problem is my TV went out for a moment, so I'm assuming that Laurel saw Frank with another woman or heard another woman in there, and because of what she said later on in the episode, and she had a mad face, I'm thinking Laurel. See, Laurel's one of those selfish people that wants it all, and I'm tired of it. Annalise, she's overall still having a good day. She's in a new place, and she wants to invite Bonnie over for dinner. I said, Lord, that's going to be a very sad dinner. But Bonnie actually says yes. Bonnie says okay, and she says it quickly, which surprised Annalise because Annalise always gets a brush off from Bonnie. And Bonnie did that because she was distracted. She was distracted / happy. She had sex with Miller. They're both getting changed. Both getting dressed again. And to distract Annalise from the noise going on in the background, she was like, yes, yes. Now, Nosy Connor, I said, wow. Now we're slightly getting the original Connor back. Because Gabriel, he's there. And again, they're talking about this case with this this gay woman that they're trying to defend. And so the conversation.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.
About, so she can be bisexual, right? Or she can be bisexual and her feelings more lead towards that of lesbian. And so then you're like, so Gabriel, so what are you? And Connor and Nash are at one point were like, well, if you ever need help exploring. Such birds. Such birds. Michaela was over it. Because she was like, hello, we need to work. We need to work. This isn't Love Connection. But, again, them slowly trying to make Gabriel the new West. And I'm over it. I'm over it. They did the same exact thing. Anyway. Michaela tries to go and talk to Oliver. And Oliver wasn't having it. He was like, you know what? You don't even get that. This case completely mirrors Simon's real life. And you just want me to be okay with you. Now, Nate, he's looking into Bonnie's case again and the details about what happened with her son. How she was sleeping with the senator and one day she got pregnant, so they stopped and she gave birth. But no, she woke up and her father said that the baby didn't make it. That's all that she said. She didn't know. Look, I've never fully trusted Bonnie. Asher, he goes back and again gets a brush off because the guy's like, I do not have use for you. And Bonnie says, stop being an entitled millennial. If you want to go and get, Miller said that. If you want to be someone and get something, you need to go and work hard for it and work towards it. Don't just go to other people and have your hand out for a handout. That's not the way to do it. I said, he's right. So that's when Asher notices his speech just out in the open. I'm thinking, really? Now, while Nate is snooping on Bonnie, Bonnie storms into his office and says that she actually likes Miller. They did do it, and now she wants to tell Annalise. And they already told her the truth. This is Annalise Keaton we're talking about. She's not going to take this well. She remember, this is Annalise. Bonnie's being hopeful. Thinking, Lord, poor Bonnie. Poor Bonnie. Now it's time for the second part of the case to begin, and Oliver finds new information. He finds out that one of the sons of the woman who was killed, he's actually a bigot. He's an alt-right, extremist, and just hiding in plain sight. And they did that because they, tapped into his computer and found correlations between alt-right sites and stuff that his profile actually said on the website. And now they're going to put him on stand. But the thing is, are they going to use seasoned Annalise to do it? Or still amateur Michaela to go after someone like him? Because Michaela thought she can just break him like she was able to break the overstressed, overworked public defender. But no. Thankfully, some common sense came in. Because in the background, we had Oliver saying, Connor found this out, so shouldn't it be Connor that did it? And I'm thinking, no, Connor isn't built for this. And they end up, Michaela makes the right choice and tells Annalise to go and do it. There was a cute moment where Laurel was talking to, baby Wes, as we call him. Sidebar, it's two twin girls that play the Christopher character. So cute! And she was talking about how, her mother was a kook, but she's not going to go and, put all of her emotional baggage on her baby because she'd be just like her mom. And then the more she talks about her mom, and ideas start to, populate in her head. Anyway, we're back at the case. And so Annalise has to go and just dig at him and say, so this is Bartfly 22. That's your user profile, right? Or no, does it look familiar? No. Oh, okay, because my IT expert actually tracked it to your house. And it's on an alt-right site, and some of the things that you were saying on this site, or at least a person using a profile connected to your computer, an IP address was saying, and he was just like, oh, well, no, I didn't do it. And then they crafted this story of, because part of the issue is they didn't know for sure if it was absolutely him. It could have been the sister, possibly. But Annalise keeps cracking at him, keeps hitting at him, keeps saying, you thought that you were there to kill our defendant, but you accidentally killed your mother because your mother converted. So she was also wearing, I guess, a hijab, maybe? And you just assumed that it was the defendant. And you ran her over. You ran over your own mother because of the hate that you have, the bigotry that you have in your heart. You went after someone for loving someone else because of the color of their skin, because of there was a different sex, and she kept hitting him. And that's when he cracked and said, you know what? Because at first he tried to play nice, good old boy, but that surface came off layer by layer. And once Annalise kept picking at him, he went and told his truth. He talked about how she is a scourge and disgusting and shouldn't be allowed to walk the streets or even exist in our country, let alone in this world, and how people like you go and be here are a blemish to our country as well, and I'm tired of all of you. And yes, if I could get rid of all of you, I would. So I started with her. I said, oh, wow. To have that much hate in your heart for someone who didn't do a dang thing to you, wow, that's special. That's special. Now, that allows them, once that happens, the case is pretty much over. Gabriel's like, oh my God, I was so exciting. It was like seeing David and Goliath going back and forth. And then he gets a call from his roommate. Look at these two birds, Asher and Connor, saying, you can live with us. Now, Connor needs to talk, not Asher and Connor, Oliver. So Connor's telling Oliver, hey, you need to go and just chill out with Michaela because I know it was you that went and put your purple in with her white clothes to make it pink, or lavender. I know you did that on purpose. You need to just go and forgive her and move on. She really thought she was doing the right thing, even though it was a horrible thing. And I said, yeah, after a while, the petty just gets irritating and it gets sad. So now Annalise is telling her defendant, hey, the charges on you are reversed. They are dropped because now they're charging him with all of that. And of course, she thanks both of them. And the woman goes and she shows grace to the daughter because it was technically supposed to be her stepdaughter. And her stepdaughter, I guess this is the example of, we're not going to act like she didn't know at all that her brother was just this horrible person. But she may have not known that he was this bad. She may have thought, oh, he said this here or there and it was stupid, so I ignored it. But because she was just crying and she just looked kind of shocked that, wow, this woman's here and she's trying to console me after all of this. So now Annalise is telling Michaela, hey, Michaela, you actually did good today. Shout out to you. And so Michaela, of course, appreciated that. Now here comes Asher actually coming up with a plan. He essentially said, hey, I read your speech. Don't worry about, whether I should have done that or shouldn't have. The thing is, your speech is just okay. Monty's over because Monty helped with that speech, so she doesn't want to hear that. But Miller says, say more, don't say less. The problem with your speech is it's not strong enough. You're coming in looking like a wimp. They did not like Denver's way of doing things. Denver had a very low rate of success. You need to go and praise the current governor, the current person in charge, the person with the real backbone. That's the way that you'll become the new DA. Bonnie looked pissed because, 1, she was undermined. 2, it was from Asher. 3, she does not want to work around Asher. What? Why? Tegan comes into work and she's told by her boss. So Miss Castile says she knows who's the person, who's the mole. And I said, oh no. Who's the Jane Doe that snitched? Tegan comes in there and says, should you even be here? Should you even be going and releasing confidential information like that. Do you realize the implications? And that's when Laurel said, yeah, that's cute and all, but it was actually my mother. Okay, say more. What happened? Well, she's the one that was investigating my father. She's the one that would have loved to take him down. She's the one that miraculously disappeared around the same time the cops came in and took everything and exploited everything. So it was her. I know it's her. I just wanted to make sure that the true person, was exposed and that we can just move on from this. And so that was her way of getting in good with Tegan, who still doesn't like her, but it's like, all right, sis. All right, sis, I guess you can stay a little bit. I still have my good eye on you. Now, it was a good day for all. Everyone's, what's left of, part of the Keaton 5 is there, and they're eating s'mores, and I'm thinking, no one's lactose intolerant. Oh, okay, whatever. Oliver has something to say to Michaela. So he essentially says, yes, I'm the one that messed with your clothes. And yes, I'm sorry. Going forward, I'm going to try not to be so petty. And she's like, oh, okay, all right. And now Laurel's happy because Laurel can have baby West there on site whenever they're at Kaplan and Gold, which is perfect. It's a win-win. Nate has to go and trick Miller into signing the paperwork, the release form, to get that information on Gabriel. So Nate's trying to go and distract Miller by saying, you're doing a good job. And also with Bonnie. Bonnie's really special, and I just want to make sure you go and, she likes you. She likes you. You need to go and give it a shot. And so he talks to Miller long enough. I said, oh no, is Miller actually a decent guy? Oh no, we know decent people get killed on this show. Oh no. We can't fully trust him, but still. We can't fully trust him, but still. Annalise was beaming in her office. That's a nice office. Because she sees that, I got my, she won her first class action lawsuit after her big one. And it's just, she feels great. Her boss, who earlier in the episode wanted her to work for this sleazy CEO case, is pissed at her because he's like, hey, here's how this works. You do not tell me what to do. I am your boss. I tell you what to do. It's great that you want to go and be a hero. The problem is, that's not what's paying the bills. You're spending money to do that. You're not making us money to when you do that. So going forward, you are going to help us out more. You're going to work on the cases I want you to work on. And I felt so bad for Annalise because Annalise was so happy she had a win. It was a nice time, a nice moment. And I understand he has a lot riding on it. I understand that their firm, he was like, they're not doing well. They're not doing well, and that's why they hired her. And so she can't just do whatever she wants. But I just felt so bad because I feel like, dang. And I feel like maybe he's not even a bad guy. This is just a really messed up situation. Oh, but I felt so bad for my Annalise. Anyway, Asher is trying to figure out, why is there a new person moving into, I guess it was Wes's apartment, if I'm not mistaken. Well, because he got kicked out. We see that Frank set it up. Frank actually slept with Gabriel's ex-roommate, girlfriend, whatever, and paid her to tell him that he can't live there anymore, which was really weird. I'm thinking, why is she just trusting some? It was a lot of money, but I question almost everything. So my mind was said, what is going on here? So now, let's see what information he can get on Gabriel. That's when he goes and gets a call and says, hey. And I'm wondering, is that Nate or is that someone else? Because we found out that I'm fast forwarding too much. I wonder, is Frank, who's he working with? Is it Nate or is it someone else? Because if it's someone else, who would know about this situation with Gabriel? Now Annalise and Bonnie are having this dinner. The setting is nice, but it's the two of them. Annalise is happy, but then Bonnie has to go and tell her, hey, she's actually catching feelings for Miller. And Annalise was pissed because she's like, you can't trust him. He worked with Denver. What are you doing? What are you thinking? And I felt so bad because Bonnie was like, I know it's real. The dude loves her. She was like, she loves him. He loves her. And it took 3 months. She didn't just jump into this. And so then Annalise was like, why do you think that he's not just playing you? He has your file. She was like, why would someone, after reading my file, knowing the full truth about me, ever want me? And I said, oh my God. I felt so bad for Bonnie because that's how a lot of people feel when they have hard lives. They think that, why would anyone want to be around me? Why would anyone want to associate with me when I, just have this stench on me from what other people have done? So now we see Nate. He's talking to, he got the signed release, and now he has a picture. We find out that the baby was born, and not only was the baby born, the baby was stolen 2 days later. And I said, why does that silhouette kind of look like how Bonnie looked when she had longer hair? I said, if Bonnie went and kidnapped her own baby, I'm telling you right now. So now we see back in present day, the party where it's the wedding and Bonnie takes the baby back into the bathroom, gets the baby cleaned up, and Michaela comes in. So I said, okay, it wasn't Michaela. And Michaela was just like, yo, where were you? Laurel comes in and takes her baby. But then Michaela realizes, Bonnie? She has this horrid look and realizes, Bonnie, why do you have blood on you? Bonnie? Bonnie? I said, Michaela. See, Michaela, she doesn't know how to fake the funk. So that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Who else could it be? Could it have been one of the guys? Could it have been Miller? I don't know. Was it Gabriel? That doesn't make sense.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.